Last time on What's Your Damage?
Castile looks at you, Gus, and he goes, okay, you were needed in the red capital of Constance. Ah, just the woman I was looking for.
Gaya, what a pleasant surprise.
We have got to investigate a tomb. Jorrix, you notice that the mirror is glowing, and out through the mirror steps the prismatic queen. Things have taken a bit of a turn. As the doors open, you can see the Red Knight on the bed, looking stricken, and you see the heads of state here. Okay, I'm gonna need you to figure out what this is, and I think you know where to go. Castile. And Castile goes, Sueno Library? And she goes, In the meantime, I feel like we have to guard against something wicked this way. So, we're going to need a scrimmage between the knights. And then she stops and she looks at the tomb, and you see it is ransacked. And
Shit.
And she kind of looks at this large tapestry with all of the blade singers in one group. She goes, that's a lot of magic coming off of that thing. You both go in, and what you see in front of you as you guys exit is you see the hall of great weapons.
Oh, in the museum?
Yeah.
Son of a dick.
Oh, you guys looking for a Moo cleric? What about, when you rub your feet on the carpet and then you touch somebody? Is that Thor too?
A little bit.
I'm full of fish cakes and I'm ready to kick some ass.
Come with us.
Get out.
Getting out.
Go.
Getting out now.
Okay, you
Going to the cribs. I don't know.
Is there any creme brulee left?
There's one here.
Son of a dick.
And she goes, are we actually in the... And you guys are in the museum. She goes, son of a dick. Oh, man. Okay. So then, here it all... And you can see that there are guards, right there looking at you. And they're like, hello?
Hi, which way to the Louvre? I think we got lost.
Yeah, we're gonna go. He's like, I'm gonna need you all both to stop there. Like, let's go.
Okay, we're going.
Okay.
I'm just gonna follow her.
And, she,
On the off chance, I turn back to the portal we came through and I say, back.
And you don't see anything happen.
No magic door?
No.
Damn it.
And she goes, we're gonna exit stage left. And they're like, do you know anything about the missing? And they start to run after you, and they start
Pursued by bear.
And as you guys run out, Gaia's running, and then you see her something catches her eye, and she stops and she gets you under the arm and she throws you over. And as she does, a glyph of warding goes off, sending her flying back and you forward.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna roll acrobatics to land gracefully. That's a natural 20.
Oh wow, you somersault through the air so gracefully,
Kablam.
fancy free. Then you land on the other side.
And then I immediately run back to pick her up.
Yeah, as she does that, you can see that there are two guards bearing down at you, and they are about to call for more.
Does it look like I could get both of them with my lasso?
Looks like they're pretty broad. Doesn't seem so.
Damn. Okaat thinks to herself, I need better items. I'm gonna pull out... I don't... Okay, I'm just gonna... Enthrall.
Okay.
I'm going to try and enthrall them both.
Okay. Do I have to make a wisdom save?
Yes.
That is a 12.
Not gonna do it.
And that is a 7. So both.
Not gonna do it. Okay, so they can only see me for the next minute, and I am going to haul Gaia to her feet and go, you get out, I'll find another way. And I run in the opposite direction.
And she goes, oh, I got it. And then she puts a barrier, she puts a barrier, a force barrier.
Oh, yeah, that's a better spell.
And she goes,
yeah, okay, let's go.
Yeah, and they get that woman, and they run into it. They're like, fucking damn it. And she goes, okay.
Off in the distance, Yakety Sax plays.
And she goes, where would they have gone after this? And as you kind of survey where you're at, you can see like a large glass enclosure, like, the exits, and you can see like what looks like from your extensive history of living with her, like you remember like seeing in her old notebooks, like a drawing of a building that looks exactly like this one. It looks like a small inn.
Oh, okay. Like, is this a painting that I'm seeing, or?
No, you saw her painting it before, or she had drawings of it before, but now you see that painting like brought to life right there.
Oh.
So like a real building that she would just draw.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, I think this way.
And she goes,
towards the inn. I've seen this before.
Okay, let's go there. Mm-hmm. And she goes, well, they know us. They saw us as our dummies, so let's go back to normal.
Oh, yeah, good call.
And she drops both of you. And as you guys walk in, the keeper behind there goes like, "Oh, back so soon?"
Yes, yeah, back again. Just couldn't stay away. Where the fuck are we?
And she goes, "I don't really know." Yeah, what's the name of this? What's the name of this place? And he goes, "Oh, it's the Entangled Piece."
Right, the Entangled Piece.
And
yeah, how you been?
Great.
Johnny, have you heard from Johnny lately?
No.
Yeah.
I don't even really know a Johnny. I'm kind of confused, and he looks to Gaia, and he goes, "I don't know why you would give me this note to then give to her if you were going to see her." She's like, "I'm kind of silly that way."
Yeah, it's a little thing we do.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
And he goes, "Okay, here you go," and he gives it to Okaat.
And I wink at him, like, "Thanks, sweetheart."
Yeah, he goes...
Don't worry, it's part of the thing.
Yeah, and I think he's flustered. Yeah, he critical missed on that. He's super flustered.
And while he's busy being flustered, I read the note.
And it says, "Hot on my trail again, huh? Well, tell Guy to go to the place where it all ended last time." And you see the smiley face, and
I recognize her handwriting. She doesn't have to sign it. Jesus.
She loves her name.
Ugh, I know.
So, yeah. And she goes, "What?"
"The place where it all ended last time?" I show her the note. I'm like,
"Oh.
Yeah.
Good. We have to go back to the Children of the Fae."
God.
She goes, "Let's take a quick rest."
Yeah.
Oh.
She is the worst.
Okay, Jorrix, as you backflip your way through the portal.
Super gracefully, super intentional. 10 out of 10. All judges agree.
You see like a swirl of purple sand just blowing up, and as your eyes start to focus and you stand up, you see an enormous wolf standing in front of a giant building, and it is looking down at you. And it is about the size of 3 of you when it's sitting down, just on top of each other. So it's huge.
Jorrix stands up slowly.
And it kind of looks at you, and then it looks at Castile, and he goes, Are you good with dogs?"
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess we'll see.
You really know how to comfort people. And,
I get that a lot.
And the dog...
In that tone, too.
And the dog comes up to you, and it sniffs you, and it kind of recedes back. And then it goes up to Castile and takes a sniff of him. And then all of a sudden you see 2 giant black wings spread. He's like, "Oh, damn it."
What does that mean?
You're the dog expert.
Can I see if I know anything about a winged giant
You can definitely
dog?
try. You can definitely try.
Knowledge of the ages.
Yeah. I'm actually not only knowledgeable or not only proficient in history, but I'm super proficient.
You need to stop bragging.
What'd you get?
A really high number. Super high.
Was it a nat 1?
Maybe.
I
was bragging to say this was Chris bragging. Jorrix doesn't deserve the sins of Chris.
And you look at this beast, and like you through all your knowledge, you have never come across this.
Yeah, Castile, no, dogs aren't supposed to fly. I can tell you that much.
Mike, you are the right person to teach the future generations of Bartle, he says. And the wolf goes down and bites Castile. Takes him in his mouth. He's like, oh, nah. The nice thing is it isn't actually pressing down hard, or else I'd be dead right now. That's a nice change of pace. I help. And the dog lifts up. The dog takes him, and it kind of sits down like it's like inviting you to get on its back.
Okay, good doggy. Oh wait, this is... Are we in Sueno?
Yes.
I said, good doggy. I'm Suenian. And I just switched to Suenian for the rest of this time here.
It looks at you like it's like, Mom. And it like, it gets down a little bit further so you can jump on easier.
Nice. So I jump on the dog, and then I sort of like shimmy up to be at the head part, and I scratch behind the ear.
And then Castiel's like, and he says in Suenian, like, you can just put me on the back with him. You don't have to hold me.
And I say,
Drop.
I whisper in the dog's ear, and he's a bit of a dick, but so maybe drop him, not roughly, but...
And the dog just like kind of shakes its head, and it runs through the it runs through the open door. He's like, oh, this is cool.
I tried.
He's like, yeah.
I vouched for you.
Yeah, no, I also speak Suenian. I know you called me a dick.
I whispered in his ear.
Yeah, I could hear you.
Oh, you are like right there. You're in his mouth.
Yeah, we're not so far apart. You're not. And as it bounds down, you can see that it's going through like after it seems to be going faster than like the scenery is changing faster than it's actually running, because it is just bounding through and bounding through and bounding through, and it keeps going down and down and down and down and down and down, and you finally reach what looks like a gigantic library. And standing before you is a woman clad in lavender. And she goes, well, that's a new thing for the Avatar of Death in Sueno. And she says something in Suenian to it. She says in Suenian, please let Castile down. And it, like, lets go of Castile, and he falls to the ground. And she goes, and she switches to common. She goes, and your name is? As she looks at you, Jorrix.
Hi, I'm Jorrix.
Hi, Jorrix. I'm Lavender. Why are you guys here? And Castile picks himself up, and he goes, we're on official business. I have to look up a cure for something, and I figured that the best way for Jorrix here to learn about his fate, so to speak, is to talk to a woman who's made it her whole career to learn about things like this. And she goes, okay, so you need to know about the Moonfire Phoenix.
I would love to learn something about that.
Okay.
Anything would do.
And she goes, okay. And
It's called the Moonfire Phoenix. There you go. That one's for free.
You know, I walked right into that one. It was, what am I doing? This was a great journey to Sueno. I'm Jorrix signing off.
Yeah, Jorrix's quest is complete, everybody.
You can take me back, dog.
That's a series wrap on Jorrix. So the dog like lets you down off of him, and Castile's like kind of looking at the wolf, and he goes, "Avatar of Death," you said, and she goes, "Mm-hmm." And he seems really, really interested in you right now, Castile. He's like, would it help if I told you that I had beef jerky in my pocket? And she goes, no, he doesn't eat beef jerky. He is aware of, takes only an interest in things that are dying. He's like, well, you know how to make a man blush. And he goes, I'm going to go look into what I need to look into. And she goes, okay, what you're looking for is in the necromancy section. Of course, our necromancy section's completely gone. I don't know how it's all gone, but it is. But there you go. Just go there. And she goes, so, I'm Lavender. What would you like to know? And as we go to that, we go to Gus. And as you guys are going through the Red Knight's Keep, you are next to the Blue Knight. And he goes, it's good to see you.
You too. How have you been?
You know, except for Red being laid up, it's been pretty good. It's been, well, the Archdiocese is mad, but that's okay.
You know, the Archdiocese is doing some good stuff lately. They're feeding those who need food. I think it's because their leader was taken to hell.
And he goes, okay, Gus, that sounds legit. And he's walking with you, and he goes, and Shalabin stands next to you. So you have the blue knight on your left, you, and then the purple knight on your right. And she goes, oh, it's been a while. Well, I mean, you saw him at the same time that you saw me, so it's been not a while, but it's been some time.
Yeah, I was gonna visit you after I went to Tim Gann, but then Brunor said Bartle, and that meant go to Bartle.
Yeah, no, I asked him to tell you that, yeah. Yeah, and she goes, so what do you want to do, Blue? And he goes, you know what my plan is. She says, you're just going to rush in? And he goes, yeah. She goes, okay. And she goes, just don't try to lose as many shields as you did last time. He goes like, oh, that's right. And then he takes from his back, he gives you like 3 enormous shields. He's like, just hold on to those and just throw them at me when I lose them.
Okay.
And Shalabin looks at you and she goes, I heard recently from Zhao that you're going to be doing some security there?
Yeah, helping her sort things out, because I did such a good job in Bartle.
No, that's good. That's good. You seem to be really carving a name for yourself.
Yeah. Do either of you two great leaders have advice on great leadership?
And Shalabin goes, I'll let Blue go first. And Blue's walking with you, and he goes, it's really simple, Gus. Believe in your people and champion them every chance that you get. Never doubt them, always support them.
It's good advice.
And then Shalabin is kind of thinking about it, and she goes, if you're tasked to lead, I think what that calls for is to be an adjudicator.
What?
She goes, okay, let me try to... I think what you're tasked with when you lead is being confronted with a lot of decisions and a lot of people wanting different things that sometimes come into direct conflict with one another. So what your goal is to do is to choose which prevails wisely.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And
you decide which thing is the most good.
Yes, and sometimes it may not look like that in the short term, but you always have to think long term. And then Blue goes, but don't forget to champion your people.
Well, how could you?
Yeah, that'd be silly if they did. You know.
Speaking of champion your people, my deputy's doing a good job, so if any of you have any political undertakings for me, I am willing to expand my experience.
And he goes, and he goes, are you talking about Burke or? And she goes,
no, Burke's gonna be my assistant in whatever I do.
So and then Shalabin goes, Tawny?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, are you running for office?
No, just if you need assistance in any of your, if you need a suborient.
And she goes, yeah, when things kind of get a little bit hectic, like I can definitely think of ways that I could use you. And Blue goes, well, I could also think of some ways. And she goes, well, he works for me. And
well, I'm not talking about just being an assistant running errands like I do. I'm talking about a position where I could champion the people and where I could decide what is the more good thing.
So you want practice, she says.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We you know what? After the ceremony of colors, get back in touch with me. And he goes, yeah, and you can get in touch with me too.
Get in touch with both of you.
Oh, he's the prettiest girl at the ball. As you guys finally descend down, you can see.
Far standing in here, he'd want to be the prettiest girl at the ball.
This is absolutely true. What you see before you, Gus, is you see what looks like you see a canyon in the shape of a U, and you can see the other seconds from the green and prismatic are on one side, and they both have, the green has, what is it called? The green second has a quiver full of arrows, and the prismatic just has like some boosts to magical spells, and you see that... You see, actually, on your side, there is no second for purple, and it's just you. And he goes, Blue goes, so you just stand up there, and if you see me in trouble, throw me a shield.
Am I allowed to cast a shield spell on you?
No, this is just between us.
Okay.
And you can actually see that divided down the middle of this is there is a deep chasm. So like if someone falls off, it is just whoop real bad. And she goes, well, do you have any words of wisdom for me before we scrimmage with green and prismatic?
Where's your second?
Oh, you'll find her.
Am I supposed to look for her too? I wasn't.
No, just go to where you're supposed to be and you'll find her.
Okay, so you've championed someone. That's good.
I'm not entirely sure Gus understands that word.
And you can hear Green go like, are we going to do this or are we going to talk? And Blue goes, oh, for God. Look, I know what you're going to do. You're just going to hide and then you're going to shoot arrows at me. It's what you do every time. And she's like, and she goes, yeah, and I've won every time. He goes, ugh.
She's won every... Oh.
She and Red have won most times, Shalabin says. But they play a little bit dirtier than we do.
Well, something you learn doing backyard wrestling is if it's in the rules, it's not dirty.
She goes, thanks, that's exactly what I needed to hear.
That's the words of wisdom.
And she goes, you gonna get up to, do you want to lift up to your spot? I can just boost you there. Or you can do it yourself, whatever you want.
You know, I'm not afraid of accepting help from others.
And she goes, you know what? I really like that, Gus. And she...
Maybe if I was as tall as Burke, I could do it on my own.
And she goes, this is going to be... have you ever flown?
Nope.
Well, you will now. And she touches you and you start to float. She's like, just swim towards where you go and then just say stop and you'll land.
Okay.
And as you start to float, you now are like up to her height, and then you continue to float, and then after like 6 seconds, you're like up to the Blue's height.
Wee.
And so do you tell stop when you land at your position?
Stop.
And you fall, and you hear a voice next to you go, you know, she did it to me too. That was kind of fun, right?
Who do I see?
Nobody.
I think you're still doing it. Where are you?
She goes, no, I'm her second. I'm basically her spotter. Because what Green's going to do is she's going to hide, and I have to find her so that I can relay that message to Shalabin so that she can attack her and not have Blue just keep on eating arrows.
Why would he eat them?
Because she aims for his mouth.
You can spit them out. If you're supposed to disarm someone, why would you aim for the mouth? How is she won every time?
Oh, she's pretty cagey. Also, in case one of those arrows stray over here, just watch and maybe hide behind those shields for a while.
Oh yeah, I've got 3 of them for now.
For now, she says. for now. And then you hear a large horn go off, and they're like, "Well, ready?"
Yep.
And you can see that Blue is getting ready, and all you see is the Prismatic, who is a sorcerer, and he's just on the other side. And she goes, "Oh, Shalaban's already disappeared. Fun." And crap. And she goes, "Also, if you see the Green Knight, just let me know, okay?"
I will do that.
And as the horn is going off, you see Blue just like runs, just like you almost see him like go, huh. And he just runs and leaps over the chasm to begin the fight. We cut back to Okaat. And Okaat, she goes, "So we have to go all the way back to the Children of Fae."
Crow.
You had to know that she was gonna. I should have known.
Yeah,
Of course, she would. She would know that I'm looking for her. She
Yeah.
would set all these things and then have us go all the way. She would just make us
send
run.
us insert. Look, of course, I should. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I should have thought ahead.
I mean, it's so obvious for her, though. You know, it's
Yeah.
like you're second guessing your second guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate her.
She was. I used to love her a lot. I used to love her quite a bit, she says.
I mean, I did too, but I was like 5.
Yeah. I can imagine that would have been hard for you, she says.
I got over it.
We all.
We all tell ourselves things.
Yeah. It's with her, it can be hard to put the past behind you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you ready to go back to the Children of the Fae?
Why not?
I don't know if it's a booby trap. I have a feeling that it's not going to be anything.
Yeah.
And,
Just a wild goose chase.
yeah, but it might be just good for us to chat, and I can tell you a little bit about what happened there.
Sure.
And like, you can see that the guy that you talked to at the bar is still, like, guffawing. And, she goes, "You really have a way with words."
I guess.
Or he's just really bad at taking words.
That could also be.
Yeah, that could also definitely be. And she goes, "You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go to the bathroom and just open a portal there, because that's not weird."
Oh, right. Yours works more than once a day.
Yeah, I'm also burning. Yeah, it's fine.
Nah, I gotta swap mine out or something. It's getting old. Anyway,
And she goes,
I mean, she hacked mine or something.
"Oh, she did?"
Yeah, it
Put
sucked.
training wheels on it.
Shut up, Jorrix, who's not here.
The wind.
Says the wind.
Put training wheels on your wolf.
And you guys go into the bathroom, and you see a dwarven woman like putting on makeup, and she's not doing a great job at it. And Gaia looks at her and she goes, Are you putting on makeup for a date?" And the dwarven woman goes, "Yeah, how do I look?" And Gaia goes, "Yeah."
Do you mind if I take a quick crack at it? You missed a little spot right here.
Oh, on my lip, and she like rubs her bottom lip, and then like she's now smeared it off.
Cool.
And Gaia,
Do you mind if I I used to be really good with makeup. I'm kind of a makeup artist. Done it a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I turn to Guy, I'm like, 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes max.
Yeah, and the guy's like, "Yeah, no problem." And the dwarven woman goes like, "Do you know what type of makeup human women look like?"
Do I ever?
Oh God, giggity. And you do her makeup?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I do it up good.
Okay. She looks leagues better than she did before.
Good.
It's not your best work, but
It's a 2-minute job.
Yeah,
I
it's
did what I could.
Yeah.
And as I'm doing her over, I'm like giving her tips. I'm like, the key is to keep it simple. You don't want to overload it too much. You just got a little bit here, a little bit there.
Do I need more red?
No, you want your natural looks to shine through. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're gorgeous already. You don't want to cover that up with makeup. You just want to use makeup to bring it out.
And she guffaws and she kind of blushes.
I turn to Guy and I'm like, I guess I do have a way with words. Okay.
I mean, it's been an honor to see, she says.
And as I finish her up, I'm like, go get him, Tiger.
And she goes, "Thanks." And she nods at Gaia and she nods at you and she walks out. And she goes, "Well, at least we did something good today."
Yeah.
Well, off to face whatever fresh hell we're looking at.
Yay.
Do you know Castile? And she opens the portal.
Boy, do I.
You know, like one of his favorite things to do is
What's that?
she shoves you through.
Nice.
And we cut to Jorrix, and she goes, "So, what would you like to ask me?"
How much time do I have in here?
Well, I'm gonna guess that old Castile is gonna be looking pretty fast and heavy at that book. And as she's saying that, you see the wolf come up to you, and he drops a skull right next to you.
Oh, good doggy.
And she goes,
He likes you.
Yeah, is this like when a normal dog brings you a bone?
And she goes, there was a couple of dwarves in here, and they threw skulls for this guy. And ever since then, he's just kind of wanted to do it.
Oh.
So
Okay, I pick up the skull
okay.
and throw the skull.
And then it just zooms away, and it takes flight as it does. She goes, I'm still not used to that, because he is an avatar of death, but he likes to play fetch.
That is so weird, but
Yeah.
anywho, this library is gigantic.
I know, right? Yeah.
But I should probably focus.
Yes, you should, because I am a resource for you.
Okay. A little while back, I had to make a choice regarding the Moonfire Phoenix,
Yes.
but I know near nothing about it. So
Okay.
all the information you can give me would be most excellent.
Okay. So, there was a creation myth that what created this world was a Sunfire Phoenix and a Moonfire Phoenix. The Sunfire Phoenix would lay out all of the elements of the world, and the Moonfire Phoenix would refashion them, make it more habitable. The Sunfire Phoenix gave passion, and the Moonfire Phoenix added empathy. And they swore that they would protect this world in whatever way they could. And so, it seems that whenever there's a moonless night, which happened about 20 years ago, that the Moonfire Phoenix is going to rise again. That would mean that there is some terrible calamity coming our way.
Oh boy.
And the Moonfire Phoenix only gets expression if a host is chosen, or a chost is chosen. A host is chosen.
Ah, the chosen one.
And she goes, and there has to be a cleric from both sun and moon that chooses the Moonfire host. The Sunfire host, someone just has to call upon it, and if they're worthy, it'll immediately go to it.
I guess that makes more sense since you said the Sunfire was more a...
Impulsive.
Yes.
Yes.
And then the Moonfire was more requiring refinement and...
Right. And so we all have destiny, and destiny is just a continuously flowing river. And that has led to certain candidates being chosen, and the person who chooses the candidates, a little weird gnome.
Wait. Are you telling me...
Kalia.
Oh, okay. Thank God. I was going to say, there's no way that Farstan chose the candidate. Because he would have picked, the most random people, wouldn't he?
I think he would have picked himself 9 times plus, maybe you. I think that's what he would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's Kalia. Since she's the gnome of Sueno, she's trying to repair this place. She has made it her goal to choose the candidates herself. So, yeah. You might see her in Gaya, but you won't know it's her unless she reveals herself. I would just say that she can take many forms. I think she liked being a giant before.
A giant?
Yeah. She thought it was kind of funny.
Did she... I've only seen one giant so far,
Yeah?
but she's dead now.
That's really unfortunate.
So you said the Sunfire and Moonfire Phoenix will help against the calamity? Mm-hmm. Any chance it...
Well,
What's that mean? That's an awful long sigh.
If chosen correctly. See, when the Sunfire goes into its host, it can be overwhelming. Like, it will give you an enormous amount of power that mortals, quite frankly, aren't supposed to have. And it's very easy to, like, everything about you is heightened. So who you are as a person is heightened to 175 degrees, right? Mm-hmm. So if you have any lust for power, even if it's dormant, that will get awakened. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That sounds awful dangerous.
But if the threat is big enough, sometimes you have to roll the dice.
Okay, so sort of like an ace in the hole, but you don't want to pull it out unless... You really need that ace. Yeah.
And so the Moonfire is there as a kind of check and balance.
Oh, so it's sort of on whoever embodies the host of the Moonfire Phoenix to attempt to, in a way, tame.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
Now we need to choose the Moonfire Phoenix. We need a cleric of Sun and Moon, and we also need someone from a very specific bloodline. It's from where the first tiefling came from, which was from Lestrade, who's a devil of the depths, and Bartleby the Confessor. So there aren't a whole lot from Lestrade's line, because they get weeded out, it seems. But I think a devil is after an heir.
Okay, and I have a feeling I know who that is.
Do you?
Someone by the name of Namla?
That sounds familiar. I would tell you this. You have got to get that girl.
Yeah.
And you have got to pair up with her, because you both are crucial. So you can't die, Jorrix. And she definitely can't die.
Yeah, we've been trying to hunt her down, but it seems like every time we're on her tail, the people who have her just are one step ahead of us.
Yeah, the Archdiocese.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of awful things going their way, I think. And the wolf comes back and he drops another bone and a femur.
Oh, he brought back two. I pick him up.
And she goes, "You okay over there? You okay, Castile?" He's like, "Yeah, why? Nothing."
I throw both of them in different directions.
Give me an athletics check on this.
Oh, God. And with that, I will use knowledge of the ages to be proficient in athletics, because otherwise I have a -1 to it.
Oh, no.
Don't.
And then I'm also going to guide myself. Oh, God, please help me, Salune. Moon, guide me. Gee, I am rolling awful poorly tonight.
God.
That is a whopping 6.
Go.
And then the invisible voice goes like, "Why are you laughing, Gus?"
That's my modifier. No.
And as you throw both of them, the wolf just catches them both in his mouth. Like it's almost like you just immediately threw it back in his face. And he catches it, and then he puts it back down in front of you.
You know, sometimes you just toss it up to get their, balance. That's it. Yeah, balance.
You can see the wolf is like shaking his head.
He can see right through me.
He is an avatar of death.
I should have been saying that in Swenian.
You spoke to him in Swinian.
I try again. Okay, much better that time. That is a 19.
Okay, zoom! You throw it real far, real good, and you can see his tail wag.
Nice. Sometimes you just need the warm-up throw, and...
Yeah.
I'm lying to myself.
And I'm going along with it. I'm an enabler in some ways.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, no problem.
So speaking of Moonfire Phoenixes, I think I made the choice already.
Did you?
Yeah, Farstan sort of led me to it, in a way.
You shouldn't play with fate that way.
Yeah. Well...
Did you choose, like, the worst possible choice?
If the worst possible choice involves the same person getting the unstoppable Sunfire power, also being the one who's supposed to control himself?
That would be pretty bad. Yeah, that would be, like, a really bad combination.
Yeah, I kind of chose that one.
Really? You chose somebody who's going to wield the Sunfire?
Unknowingly.
Interesting, she says.
I sort of, in a way, let fate guide me, and I've got a feeling something other than fate is pulling at me.
Well, you'll have to figure that out, because that is really bad.
Yeah. Any chance there's anything about that in your library?
You know who I think you should talk to?
Who's that?
I think you should probably talk to a devil. Because he will cut a lot of deals with a lot of different folk.
I mean, would he be up for casual conversation, or does he require a deal himself? Because,
He's a wheeler and dealer.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, but... Okay, well, whatever happened, we're not in that worst case scenario now. Or you guys aren't, I imagine. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. So, I would say, fight to preserve this one. And get her back.
Definitely. I don't know if there's anything in here. I mean, this isn't a fortune room, but about maybe ways to track a specific tiefling of a specific bloodline. Because from this point, we've been just going at sort of like grasping at straws. It hasn't been terribly efficient.
Have you ever been to... there's reputed to be a cave in the Blue Nation. It's bordering the Blue and the Prismatic Nation. Dead River Canyon. There's reputed to be a cave down there that may be able to point you in the direction that you're looking for.
Okay, I'll definitely give that a look. I mean, at this point, anything is a better lead than what we've been going with. Thanks.
Yes, of course. And you see Castile arrive, and he's like, and he has like slobber on him. Do I smell like beef jerky?
You smell like dog slobber.
That makes sense. He goes, I got the book, and she goes, you know the return policy. He's like, yes.
Ooh, is there a library card in there?
And he opens it up, and you see a drawing of Lavender just with her arms folded and just like,
Ooh.
Yeah, she's kind of an egomaniac in some ways.
If you don't return it on time, does that little
it will
figure come out and start beating you up?
No, but it will beep constantly, and it will drive you mad.
Oh.
And he goes, "Thanks again, Lavender. We should probably head on out." And she goes, "Yeah."
Oh, I have one last question.
Yes.
Can I come back?
And she goes, "Yeah, of course you can." And she thinks about it for a moment, and she goes, "If you want to come back, the best way to do that is to talk to either Castile or Shalaban.
Okay. Will do.
Or if you can, the Prismatic Queen, but
she's pretty busy these days.
Yeah, and she look above your pay grade. No offense.
None taken.
Okay, we cut to Gustice. The fight begins, and immediately the other group on the other side, the other seconds, you see the second that has the archer, has the arrows, takes aim at you and shoots off an arrow.
At me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I cast Shield of Faith on myself. It's an armor bonus of 3 shields.
I mean, you're like, do you have them like around you?
Yeah, I've like made myself like a fortress. Well, I have 4 because I have my own shield too.
Yeah, I mean, like it's pretty impenetrable. It seems like he's just trying to distract you from like paying attention to what's going on down there.
I got a little peek hole.
Yeah, so he's just like shooting arrows at you to try to like draw your attention away. You see that the Blue Knight immediately goes after the Prismatic Knight, and the Prismatic Knight is just throwing fire and flames and every magical spell that he can, and the Blue Knight is not dodging because he's not great at that, but he's putting his shield up, and then all of a sudden, as he's enduring like all the fire coming at him, a black portal opens up behind him, and tentacles reach out through that portal and grab his shield, wresting it away from him.
I'm gonna throw a shield at him.
Okay. You see, then as that gets taken away from him, you see 3 arrows coming from 3 distinct different directions, making it impossible to get a bead. Hit him, and they explode, kind of rocking him and bringing him down to a knee.
My champion! The 25.
Jesus Christ.
It's athletics, right?
Yeah. Okay, you say, my champion, and you throw it at him, and he goes, thank you, and he puts it up to guard against the incoming flames. And the disembodied voice goes do you see him out? Do you see where that came from?
3 different places.
Fair.
I think it's magic.
Fair, she says. You can see that the Prismatic Knight is kind of backtracking, because now you have, 2 shields left?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's backtracking, and he is just throwing everything that he can at the Blue Knight. As he's doing that, all of a sudden you see a Kusarigama come out and wrap his arm, kind of restraining him. And as that happens, you see 3 more arrows coming from 3 distinctly different places, all target the Blue Knight again, causing his shield to fall off again.
My champion! Oh, that's only a 10.
Okay, as you throw that again, as you throw it, you can see that it's online, but you had to overextend yourself a little bit, and as you were, a arrow actually comes and strikes you.
Okay.
Hitting you off of your platform.
On to where?
Down where you started.
Okay.
So...
It's just harder to throw it to him now?
Yeah, you can hear the disembodied voices that's dirty pool! And, you can also tell by the size of the arrows that hit you and how they were so directly online. This probably came from the Green Knight herself. So, you're saying behind to kind of look at where he is?
Yeah.
Okay. You can see that Shalabin and him are starting to make quick work of, as they're double teaming the Prismatic Knight, they're kind of making quick work. This time, he plays his trap card, which is he becomes a giant. And as he does, he picks the Blue Knight up and he wrests the shield from him.
So he's only got this last one, huh?
He's got one more left. But as that is happening, you see 3 more arrows coming at him. However, the Purple Knight kind of jumps and deflects them. However, she deflects them right to the seconds. The Green Knight and the Prismatic Knight seconds.
Okay.
The explosions go off, and you can see that they are tumbling towards the chasm.
How deep is the chasm?
It looks very deep.
Oh no! Gus doesn't really have anything in his toolbox to help him.
And
so what he's gonna do instead is hook his Blue Knight up with the last shield. I want to set it on the ground and then kind of golf it and smite it since I'm pretty far away.
Okay. Okay, you hit this and you smite it, and it's like a rocket coming towards him, and he grabs it, he sees it coming, he's surprised by how fucking fast this is. You smited it. Jesus God. He's like, oh, and he catches it with his left hand, and in one fluid motion, he catches it and he throws it down towards the chasm underneath where those 2 people are falling. And he goes, I'm out. And you see that it is just her, it is the Purple Knight by herself. And he collects the 2 people that fell, and he puts them back in their spot, and he makes his way back to you as now the Purple Knight is just hiding in the shadows. And he goes, you were a good second.
Thanks. I wish I knew that fly spell, or I would have helped the people.
No, you got it to me, and I was able to help them, and that was the most important thing. Your intention was to help them if you could, right?
Yes.
That was the right intention. but you got it to a person that could help them, and that's
What even happens if we win this thing?
Oh, if we win, then well, we have bragging rights, and
That's stupid. Why would you hurt people to brag?
some people play dirtier than others, he says. And as you see that, you see the prismatic knight, or the prismatic knight is like hung up, and he is immobilized, and so it seems like it's down to green and purple, and you can hear Green go, I can see you, and the disembodied voice goes, she's behind the canyon, and you see Purple go, no, I imagine that you can. And she thundersteps away, and she says to her, "Where behind the canyon?" And she goes, "She's right where the ledge fell off." And she goes, "Okay." And those two, and she appears right behind. She reveals the Green Knight, and those two have a hell of a fight. And the Blue Knight goes, "Do you want to take? Who do you think is going to win?"
Well, I haven't seen them fight enough.
In a close-up battle, I would definitely take Purple.
Yeah, but sometimes those greenies are fast. And if you can get far away fast, then it's your advantage.
Yeah, it really is. And as you say, like, those greenies are fast. She tries to step away, but then Shalabin throws out her Kusarigama, and she aims high, so it clears the top of the Green Knight's head, and the Green Knight goes, "You completely missed. What good was that?" And then the Purple Knight goes, "Check your Fletchers. You can't shoot anything. You don't have any guidance." And she goes, "Fuck." And as those two fight, Gus, you hear a voice in your head. "Such a shame about the Red Knight, huh?"
What is that? Is Shalaban second around me?
What? Yeah, I'm right here. I've always been here.
No, it's not your voice.
No, of course not, dear. It's me. So, he's laid up, and there's the Prismatic Queen by herself, and a downed Red Knight. Oh no, it would be really terrible if two people who are really, really skilled in killing folk were to take aim at them right now, wouldn't it?
Blue Knight, we have to go protect the Red Knight and the Queen now!
And he goes, "What?"
Now!
And so do you yell that to the Blue and Green?
I just yelled it to Blue because he's right there.
Okay, and he goes, "What is it, Gus?"
No time to explain.
Okay, and he goes, "Okay, let's go." And he goes, "Purple, we need you." And she goes, "What?" And as she does, you can see that the Green Knight takes her Kusarigama, and she goes, "I win." And she goes, "Fine, fuck it." And she gets to you guys immediately, and she's like, "Where? We go back up?"
Yes, faster, faster.
Okay. And as you guys go up there, you can see like all the guards who were there initially are just kind of freaked out by it. They're like, "What's the matter?"
Go up, join us now. Shut up.
And as you run through, you see, you open the door to where the Red Knight was, and they both like look at you, and they're like, and the Prismatic Queen goes, "Yes."
I cast Zone of Truth.
Okay, you cast Zone of Truth on the Prismatic Queen?
Just everyone in the room.
Okay, yeah, so it's Prismatic Queen, the Red Knight, and like a pair of their guards.
Are you the Prismatic Queen?
Yes.
A voice in my head once said, "It's not crazy, okay?" It was a magical voice in my head.
And then the Prismatic Queen, like, you hear her voice, and she goes, "Was it like this?"
Not the same voice, but the same sort of thing.
Okay, so somebody was in your head.
Evil Evangeline.
And she goes, "Oh, shoot." She's coming here?
I think, or she was taunting me.
Okay. And the voice comes back in your head. She goes, "Thank you for that, Gus." And then it goes silent.
Or she wanted all of us to be in the same place. Uh-oh.
When you say that, we cut to Gaia and Okaat in the middle in the field, and she is looking around, and she goes, "Well, this is where I killed 2 people trying to kill them."
Sounds about right.
You know the thing. After all of this time with her, I still a part of me wants to kill her, and a part of me wants to see if we can get her back. I'm gonna teach you something, okay?
All right.
So you know what blade singing is. You know that. Have you ever noticed how most of the melee fighters tend to be feminine or female?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's because we're better suited to the art of making space when there isn't very much. It's about misdirection and leading your opponent in a dance that they are ignorant to.
Right.
So, I want to help you learn that. And she takes off her cloak, and she goes, "Well, show me what you got."
Okay. I activate my tenor of blades.
And she does too. And she goes,
Oh shit, yours is bigger. Sorry, had to.
And she goes, "Yeah, I know." And she goes, "Okay. Now, when you have this activated, if you are in a tough spot, because I imagine that you, knowing what I know about you, which is, I think you're at times extremely headstrong, and you'll run into a situation when there's no chance that you can win.
What on earth gives you that impression?
Castile and I have talked sometimes. But I wanted, if you have multiple people on you, I want to teach you something."
Okay.
And she goes, do you have like a thing that can like restrict people's, you have like a lariat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Check this out. It's made of stars.
Oh, wow. And she goes, "Okay, so let's say that you have 2 people within melee range of you."
Mm-hmm. You mean like the 2 guards back in the
Yes.
museum? Cool.
So, if one of them attacks you, you can choose to, and she shows you very slowly as she starts to try to stab at you with her sword. Mm-hmm. She goes, if you have your lariat on you, you can get their wrist and send it to and their compatriot.
Right.
Also using the lariat to put one to sleep and stab them.
Oh, awesome.
So she begins to try to show you that. Mm-hmm. And she goes, you're actually taking to that really well. You learn pretty quickly. You see
what I'm good at.
Oh, I'm sure that you're good at a lot of different things.
And stabbing. Mostly stabbing.
A lot of it's stabbing, though.
A lot of it is stabbing, yeah.
And she goes, you know what I still haven't been able to find? I know what led to this point. There was, when Namla got taken ill, there was somebody who tried to sell her a potion, and she was so desperate that she paid an exorbitant amount of money. And then that person gave her just snake oil. It didn't do anything.
What a bastard.
Yeah. I just want to know why he would do that. I mean, money, but I don't know. To do that to somebody when their child's sick, I don't know. I find that detestable.
Yeah. There are some desperate people who prey off of desperate people. That's all they know.
Hurt people hurt people.
Make people cry, make people cry.
Butt heads. And she goes, well, I'm sorry that we didn't get to find her, but
well,
it was a pleasure to go hunting with you.
Yeah, we'll have more opportunities, I'm sure.
Yeah, I am certain that we will. Do you want to just this sounds weird. Do you just want walk to, we'll get like a horse or something, but do you want to take the long way back to Bartle? We can just hang out.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good. Gustice, as you say, you get the sense that there is something directly behind the mirror where the prismatic queen is, but it happens a little bit too late. And as that happens, an enormous fireball is let loose. What would you like to do as you see the flames in zero time and around all these people?
Who's nearest to me?
Nearest to you would be Shalabin and the Blue Knight.
I want to hold my shield up and get in front of Shalabin then. Just protective instinct.
Okay, so you put it in front of her.
Well, I put it in front of me, but put myself in front of her.
Okay, yeah, so she ducks behind and the fire engulfs the room, and you see the Prismatic Knight immediately tries to put a barrier, a force barrier where the fire is, and then you see that he puts it up too late, and the Prismatic Queen is engulfed in flames. And you see all of a sudden the fire starts to swirl in like an egg pattern, and you see walking in the flames, the fire in the flames, you see the Prismatic Queen, and she's kind of controlling the element, and she puts it out. And she goes, Does she understand that I can control flame if I so choose? That seems sloppy. It's more of a message. She sent you a message, right, Gustice?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to bring everybody. We need to bring Red back to. We need to bring Red back to the capitals. We need to bring him back to Zaun. We need everybody there. Blue, I need you there. Shalabin, I need you to imitate the Red Knight so that nobody knows what's going on. And as she says that, the Shalabin puts back her glamour and she looks like the Red Knight. And she goes, Gustice?
Yeah.
I might have need of you and your friends. But for the time being, if you hear anything from her, tell me immediately, or tell Castile and he'll get in contact with me.
What if neither of you are around? I can't just magic talk like all you people.
And she goes, does your friend have a ball of fast travel?
Yeah, what if she's not around? You're putting a lot of stress on me.
And you see, you hear Blue go, oh, I mean, like, you can just, if you need to contact me, he gives you like a whetstone. And he goes, just use this and I'll hear you. It's part of it's part of my internal security team.
It's just like a stone?
Mm-hmm.
Could I carve this into something,
I will hear it being carved the entire time.
But, like, will it still work afterwards?
Yeah, but I will hear that carving the entire time.
Can't you just, like, turn... I mean, people will be suspicious of me walking around with a stone I haven't carved or not carving.
He goes, you know what? And he touches... He looks to the Purple Knight and she goes, I'll put it on mute. And she mutes it. And she goes, if you're going to carve something, just carve it. But then tell me when to tell Castile, because I'm imagining that you're going to go to Bartle after this.
Well, I don't know.
And she looks at the Prismatic Queen. She's like, go back to Bartle. Make it seem like nothing happened here. You're supposed to wrestle?
Oh, yeah. What a crazy day.
Wrestle. You have that in a week. Go. You have that in 2 weeks. Go back to Bartle. Pretend that everything's fine. Wrestle, and if we have need of you, or if you hear anything in the interim, just get in contact with Blue. You have multiple ways to contact multiples of us. Sound good?
Yes, and if all these don't work, I tried my best.
And Shalabin goes, you sure did, and we do appreciate that from you.
Well, thanks for everything.
No problem. And we'll leave it there. Hey everybody, Elliot here. Just wanted to let you know that Sadie and I were guests on the most recent episode of the Wholesome Hoodlum podcast. Find it wherever you're finding this, wherever you're finding us, and on Podbean.